I want to call the June 23rd, 2016 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting to order. Commissioner Wathen, would you lead us in a prayer and a pledge?
Yes, please pray with me. Dear God, our Father, thank you for all the gifts that you have bestowed on this community and on this great country. Thank you for our military, our police, and our firemen. May we never take them for granted. Thank you for all of our dedicated employees for the county. They work, and thank you for them working so hard to make our lives better. Please protect the poor and the mistreated children of our community. Please allow the burdens of their lives to be lightened. Help all of the communities across America to stop the destruction and the deterioration of our families. And last but not least, please give the members of this court the wisdom that we need to do your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner, and once again I want to welcome everyone to our June 23rd, 2016 Fiscal Court meeting. This evening, you might recognize or not recognize Terry Thompson is taking Jenny Warren's place. Jenny said she would like to be here because she's driving a van full of kids down to Florida, I think. But anyway, Terry has done this before. Terry, remember to speak up. Okay, just burrow into that microphone and speak up. And before we get the meeting started, I also want to recognize an intern, Sally Martin. Sally, stand up. Wave hi to everybody. Sally's been working with us. She's doing an excellently good job, right? Okay, that's what I thought you'd say. Terry, you ready?
Yes. 1, consideration for presentation. Item A, Proclamation, Amateur Radio Operators Week, June 25th to July 1st, 2016.
Whereas we fully realize and appreciate the importance of amateur radio operators and their contributions of providing communications to the community during an emergency, and whereas in the performance of duty they have demonstrated the highest skill and professional achievement and have completely and unselfishly dedicated themselves to the well-being of their community, and whereas it is deemed appropriate that county government express appreciation on behalf of all citizens, now therefore I, Al Mattingly, Daviess County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim June 25th through July 1st, 2016 as Amateur Radio Operators Week. Furthermore, I call upon all the citizens of Daviess County to honor and show their sincere appreciation for amateur radio operators by deed, remark, and attitude. I think we have someone out in the audience to accept this, right? You want to come get it? Congratulations. You want to go over and identify yourself and honor us with a few kind words.
Thank you, Judge Mattingly and members of the court, for letting me come before you today and for the proclamation. It is greatly appreciated.
And who are you?
I'm Bob Spears.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure we got that on record.
And I'm an amateur radio operator, AA4L. And just want to thank you, and because we will be operating out at Panther Creek Park this weekend under emergency conditions, and want to thank the court for your fine park and your cordial consideration for us at all times. It's always been nice and friendly to be at the parks. Okay. But it is be under emergency conditions. We will be working off of generators, just like there was no electricity, and in case there was an emergency, try to get communications and help to the county for the citizens of Daviess County.
Okay. Well, Bobby, on behalf of this court and all the citizens of Daviess County, again, we want to thank you. And I would encourage folks in this county to go out and watch the demonstrations that you put on. It's pretty impressive.
And we'd like for you in the court, if you can make it, Mr. Kaslan has been there, Mr. Wathen has been by, and anyone else, we appreciate it. And it's from 1 o'clock Saturday until 1 o'clock Sunday at Panther Creek Park.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next item.
B, Treasurer's Report for May 2016.
Mr. Hendricks.
Total cash May 31st was $28,777,241. Of that, the general fund is $14,221,584. All the finances for the court looks very good going into the last month, and from what I see today, there's nothing negative to alert the court to.
Okay, just a report. We don't need a motion or a second. Next item.
C, Sheriff's Settlement for 2014 taxes.
Mr. Hendricks.
This is an annual audit. The sheriff's is a fee office. They get 2 audits. This is the one on the taxes. I've reviewed the report. It is in order.
Okay, question or comment? This report or audit is on display here at the courthouse for anyone that might want to look at it. Next item.
2, consideration for approval. Item A, minutes of the June 2nd, 2016 court meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, you've all had a copy of the minutes in your packet for a while. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and second. Again, Commissioners, you've all had a copy of the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Any questions of the treasurer at this time? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
C, budget transfers for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2016.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion, second. Mr. Hendricks.
This is the second set of transfers. We did some last meeting. As you know, our rules prevent us from having an expense line where the actual expense exceeds the budget. These lines are where I'm adjusting the budget so that does not happen. I've reviewed them. They're all in order. They were either approved by the court, they were offset by revenues, offset by another expense reduction. So there's nothing in here to alert the court to. I would note for the public that even though these budget transfers, some of the numbers look pretty big, they do not increase the total budget for that fund. We have found expense accounts to reduce to offset. So these are all just standard. So I'm requesting approval to do budget transfers of $139,020 for the general fund, $106,600 for the road fund, $109,400 for the jail fund, $12,000 for LGEA, $155,000 for the construction fund, and let's see, $114,100 for the solid waste fund, and $35,000 for the closure fund. I request your approval.
Question or comment by the commission? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
D, fund transfers.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion, second. Mr. Hendricks.
And these are the final fund transfers for the year. The first one is $700,000 from the general fund to the bond fund. That is the remaining amount in there for the year for the insurance premium tax, and it needs to be moved over to the bond fund. $300,000 from general fund to the jail fund. That still leaves $600,000 that we had budgeted but did not transfer over to the jail because they've had a high revenue year. Of that extra $600, I'm requesting that we move $200 of that from the general fund to the let's see, it's $300 to the road fund and $200 to the jail fund. I read the wrong line. So let's do it again. $700,000 to the bond fund, $300 from the general to the road fund, and $200 to the jail fund. Now that left $600,000 unused of the jail transfer, and that's why I'm putting the $300 in the road fund. So we won't exceed budget in total. We'll still be under budget for the total transfers. I'm just putting a little more in the road fund to help me with cash flow where we get behind on reimbursements, and because there are some asphalting bills that are coming due next week. We've already closed out our claims for this fiscal year, so we're going to roll those expenses over into the new fiscal year. I will then have the money in place to pay them, and it won't affect next year's budget as you had approved it. So I request your approval.
Question or comment by the commission? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
E, administrative code amendments.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, as you know, throughout the year, we often change our administrative code, but at least once a year, we must do it formally, bring everything up to snuff. If you look, you will see we made several changes. The first one was regarding the fixed asset documentation, and one of the things we did was we increased the value The former value was $100. We moved that up to $1,000. The second was travel. In the past, folks could request an advance on travel, and we might or might not have approved it. That just takes the request for an advance out. That's no longer an option. Chapter 11 has to do with the attendance and leave policy. If you look over on the back page, once upon a time it said upon retirement. Instead of retirement, it says upon separation, because there might be folks who, instead of retiring, they'd take another job. So it just brings that up. The last is the uniform policy, and I'm going to ask Jordan Johnson to go over the proposed uniform policy.
Yes, Judge. For the past 3 years, the county has operated under a uniform rental contract. The county is migrating to an allotment system where we provide a set amount of money per employee to purchase their uniforms. Several local entities work under this system, such as RWRA, the City of Owensboro, Unilever. We have a bid that will facilitate this chapter in the administrative code. This sets the rates and the procedures necessary to equip all of our employees with uniforms.
Okay, Commissioners, you've had these changes in your possession. Are there any questions or comments? Any question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
F, Resolution 10, 2016, establishing 2 grievance procedure policies, and Resolution 11, 2016, fair housing.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, I received an email from Carl Sims with GRAD concerning these resolutions. I'm going to read a part of it. It says, for the county's currently open CDBG project, Masonville Sewer Extension, the fiscal court will need to reapprove a few resolutions to be in full compliance with the state CDBG program. The resolutions that we had adopted previously went all the way back to the year 2000. In summary, the proposed resolutions have one to do with a fair housing resolution. The resolution states that the county, within its available resources, will take measures to ensure equal opportunity in housing activities for all persons, including protected classes. This will also include publicizing the policy, distributing fair housing posters, retaining an analysis of impediments. The second, a grievance procedure. It's a suggested procedure to respond to any comments received from the public regarding CDB funds and their use. The third is a grievance procedure regarding handicap status, and it's a suggested procedure to respond to any comments received regarding perceived discrimination due to handicap status. In a nutshell, it says that if we're going to receive federal and state funds, CDBG funds, fair housing funds, we have to adopt these resolutions. Mr. Sims is in the audience, and I'm sure you would be willing to answer any questions that they might have. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
G, Resolution 12, 2016, adopting and approving the execution of a County Road Aid Co-op Program Agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. Approval of said agreement.
Thanks, Carl.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks.
Gentlemen, this is an agreement that you do annually. The road fund dollars from the gas tax, one of the biggest revenue items we have for the roads. They require this agreement, and then there's a resolution attached. Basically, it just covers the fact that they will make this money available through the KRS, that the county agrees to use it on county roads solely for the purpose of construction, reconstruction, and maintenance on those roads. It talks about the amount of $1,478,403.79. It will be reduced by the 3% emergency fund, and then we'll get 3 distributions. 60% will come in probably July, 35% later, and then the final number will right before the end of the fiscal year if they make sure they receive their revenue. So I reviewed it as a standard contract that you do annually, and I would recommend approval.
Commissioners, I might say that the less the 3%, that's sort of like buying insurance in case we have an emergency, then we can go to them. We have used that in the past, I think, Mark, on a bridge. Have we used it on a bridge or?
We did.
Yes, and it's not a lot of money in the end to cover the cost of some kind of emergency. I think, 118 of the 120 counties
That's right.
participate in it. So I think it's a good program to participate in. Any question or comment? Hearing none. Any question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
8, Resolution Number 13, 2016, designation of applicant's agent regarding the renewal of contracts for FEMA Public Assistance Disaster Funding for the 2-year budget cycle beginning July 1st, 2016, and approval to authorize the judge executive to execute and submit any and all documents related to said renewal.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, this is, as it says, it's on a 2-year budget cycle. We're getting ready to begin another 2-year cycle. We must renew this each 2-year cycle. There is nothing that I know of that's changed in the agreement. Do you?
It's not changed, but it specifically designates me as the court's applicant agent, and unless you choose to change that, that's what it will reflect.
No, I think that's the perfect designation at no additional compensation, of course. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I, contract with MMLK Government Solutions for 2016-17.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, this is the annual letter of agreement between Daviess County Fiscal Court and MMLK Government Solutions. As you know, they are the folks that go to bat for us in Frankfort. I would note that there is a slight increase in the cost of the contract. They pretty much were the same for 5 years, so they have taken an increase in their cost. They've done an excellent job for us in representing us, not only on monetary issues, but on policy issues as well. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
J, contract with Daviess County Board of Education for the transportation of non-public school students.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks, you're the one that's most familiar with this. Do you want to explain it?
Yes, sir. Again, this is the contract that is done annually. It does cover the fact that the Daviess County school system transports non-public students and that the court reimburses them for the majority of that cost. We then in turn file with the state, and we are reimbursed a significant portion of that cost from the state, as we did some papers earlier in a previous meeting where we make the filing with the state to identify the fact the court is providing this transportation, intends to continue providing the transportation, and I sent them all the invoices and things. So even though this identifies that we'll pay $75,000 quarterly, I can tell you that your actual expense will probably, with the fuel prices where they are, you'll be closer to $200,000, not to $300,000, and you will be reimbursed the majority of that from the state. So I looked at the contract, it's unchanged from the last couple of years. I would recommend approval.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
K, MOU with Grayson County regarding the sheltering and adoptions of domestic animals.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, last week, I think Commissioner Coger received a call from Judge Logston in Grayson County. They were having some issues. He suggested that he call me in consultation with Commissioner Coger and with David Smith, who oversees that department, and Ashley Clark, who is our animal control officer. We came up with an agreement whereas Daviess County would take up to 15 dogs each month from Grayson County for the sum of $2,000. And they would pay us an additional $150 per animal over and above that. This agreement has to do with dogs only. It's a 6-month agreement. Don't know that Grayson County will renew the agreement at the end of the year. They may decide to go a different direction, but they had some problems with where they were taking their animals, and this gives them some short-term relief. Grayson County's fiscal court passed this agreement last Friday. With some of the money that we get from this, we will hire an additional part-time person to help out at the shelter. I don't know of anything else that I left out. If there's, we did today, we got a couple of dogs before we approved it, so I think we went ahead and took them. It was gonna be too hot to take them back up to Grayson County, so we'll, Judge Loxton, if you're watching, or if you read the article, or if this is in the article, we're gonna send you a bill. Any question or comment? Yes, sir.
Couple things. That person that we're gonna hire,
Yes.
what happens to them if this is discontinued in 6 months?
It will be a part-time person, and they will be hired with the knowledge, and Ashley was informed of that. It depended on whether we kept them or not, depended on whether we had this contract.
Also, if, I didn't see it in here, it may be in here, but we have, I know it says that they will follow all of our rules
Yes,
and regulations.
yes.
But there's one in there that's kind of a curve. It has to, and I would recommend that if we go beyond this 6 month, I think we should do this just like it reads, but if we go beyond the 6 month, we might want to make sure they understand, you know, the rule we have written that all of our adoption rescue centers
Yes.
have to sign
Yes.
about what they have to do with
Mm-hmm.
it. We might want to include that in there somewhere if we go beyond the 6 months.
I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I think one of the issues that we get into, and Mr. Smith and I were talking about, was the requirement that we maintain or keep an animal 5 days before we can get rid of it. That's a state requirement. They are bound by it. I think Mr. Smith recommended that we write that into the agreement. It does not preclude us from starting the very day that we get the animal, from starting adoption procedure, as long as we stipulate that this animal will be available in 5 days, but it has to remain in our possession.
Well, but there's another rule as well that talks about if it goes beyond the 5 days and
Yes.
somebody adopts it
Yes,
out, they have to bring it back. And if it's
yes. But those animals become our property once we take them.
But then if we we could talk about it another time.
Well, I
talking about
understand,
the-
yeah,
the-
I understand where
I'm
you're
talking about
at.
the 5-day rule. I'm talking about the rule about if somebody adopts.
Yes, and I understand where you're coming from. I don't think that a rule would involve Grayson County, but we'll look at it.
We need
Yep.
to just look at it and
Yep.
make sure we're,
I agree with you.
because that, you can get pretty gnarled up on that one rule.
We have been, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes, and I appreciate where you're coming from. Any other question or comment? Any question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
L, AmeriCorps Host Agency Agreement, EMA.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Actually, this is an agreement between the Green River Area Development District and the sponsoring agent, which is the fiscal court. The AmeriCorps worker will go to EMA for them to use. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
M, Road Resurfacing List, 2016-2017.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Brasher.
Yes, Judge. With the $1 million that fiscal court has proposed for next year's resurfacing program, the Daviess County Public Works Department is presenting to fiscal court our recommendation for a list of roadways to be resurfaced. Would you like me to read them out?
Yes, please.
In the East District, we are recommending Old Highway 54 from Old State Road to Kentucky 54 for a distance of 2.879 miles. Southampton Road from Jones Road to Kentucky 142 for a distance of 1.222 miles. Fullenwater Road from South Chestnut Grove Road to US 60 for a distance of 0.9 miles. Little Hickory Road from Luther Taylor Road to Boston Spur for a distance of 2.633 miles. Green River Drive from Fairview Drive to the Dead End for a distance of 0.248 miles. Kelly Cemetery Road from US 60 to box number 10726 for a distance of 0.7 miles. Iceland Road from end of pavement to the cul-de-sac for a distance of 0.758 miles. Miller's Mill Road from Newbolt Road to Panther Creek Bridge for a distance of 1.519 miles. That's a total of 10.159 miles in the East District.
Commissioner Koger, any question or comment regarding that list?
No, sir, we've looked at it, and I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Central District, Old Hartford Road from US 231 to the Panther Creek Bridge for a distance of 0.653 miles. Sutherland Road from Beach Road to Hillbridge Road for a distance of 3.921 miles. Todd Bottoms Road from Hillbridge Road to the end of maintenance for a distance of 0.454 miles. That's a total distance of 5.028 miles for Central District.
Commissioner Castleton?
I'm satisfied with the list, thank you.
Okay, next list.
West District, we're recommending New Cut Road West from Cummings Road to Mulligan Road for a distance of 0.83 miles. Panther Creek Park Drive from Kentucky 279 to the park entrance for a distance of 0.357 miles. Hayden Bridge Road from Kentucky 56 to Crooked Creek Road for a distance of 2.936 miles. Carter Road from Keller Road to Todd Bridge Road for a distance of 1.537 miles. Back Drive from Dick Street to Boone Street for a distance of 0.173 miles. Boone Street from Curdsville, Delaware Road to Kentucky 500 for a distance of 0.057 miles. Smock Road from Curdsville, Delaware Road to Kentucky 258 for a distance of 1.856 miles. That's a total distance of 7.746 miles.
Commissioner Wathen?
It's good.
Okay.
These percentages, we divided up the $1 million based upon each district's road miles, as you can see at the bottom of the list. That gives the Daviess County a total miles of resurfacing of 22.933 miles for this $1 million.
Okay. That's approximately 13 miles less than we have done for the last couple years, but that's reflective of less money from the gas tax, as well as the removal of the $500,000 that we had put in each of the last 2 years because of the bad winters. I would say, Commissioners, that I've talked with the county engineer. I think I've left on your desk a list of his recommendation of roads if we were to spend the additional $1 million, which I talked to you folks about during the budget. If we could, I would like for you to look at those, give me your opinion before the next meeting. My proposal would be that we would give, if everyone's satisfied, that we would give authorization to spend an additional $500,000 right now. Wait till the beginning of next year, see where our income is, our revenues, and perhaps move forward. If we spent the additional $1 million, we would pave approximately 45 miles of road, which is pretty much unheard of as far as infrastructure investment. It's a good time to do it. Asphalt is as cheap as it's been in a lot of years. The roads that we would pave certainly need it. We're not going to repave bad or good roads just because we could, and certainly if costs go up or if our financial situation changes, we could always drop back to the historic level, which is between 18 and 20 miles. But considering how many miles do we have in the county? 500?
560.
So 560 miles, you can see that at 45 miles, you're on a 12-year cycle, which is a whole lot quicker than the roads need to be repaved anyway, but we're making a lot of progress, so. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
N, renew the following bids as presented by Jordan Johnson, purchasing clerk.
I think we need a motion and a second, and then we'll have Jordan present them.
Move to approve.
Second?
I have a motion second. Now, Mr. Johnson, would you present those bids and tell us what they just moved to spend all that money on?
Yes, Judge. The following bids are subject to renewal for an additional contract term of 1 year. That is bid number 13-2014, pavement striping by Reynolds Sealing and Striping at a bid rate of 18 cents per linear foot. Bid number 14-2013, concrete crushing by Hazex Construction at a bid rate of $7 per ton. Bid number 15-2014, wood grinding by O'Brien Grain Farms Incorporated at a bid rate of $14 per ton. Bid number 16-2014, recycling services by Dahl and Grosinger Incorporated at a bid rate of $62 per gross ton for ferrous metals and etc. At the time that these bid items were conducted, there was a large amount of competition, securing a very competitive rate. The county has been pleased with the service and these rates up to this time. The vendors have agreed to renew in accordance with all terms, conditions, and pricing specified in their respective bid contracts as previously agreed upon without reservation or alteration. For an additional year, I recommend approval.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
O, award the following annual and departmental bids.
Motion approved?
Second.
I have a motion second. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge, I will read through each of these bids and then pause for questions by the commission and the judge.
Okay.
Starting with bid number 8, 2016 for bulk delivered fuels, Daviess County Fiscal Court received 1 bid. Valor Oil is the only bid submitted. It meets all the specifications and requirements set forth. It is our recommendation to award bid number 8, 2016 to Valor Oil for the above unit prices, and it should be noted that these unit rates are roughly 25% lower than the prior rates in every range from
Okay.
last year.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Moving to bid number 9, 2016 for ready mix concrete, Daviess County Fiscal Court received 2 bids. The bid of Yeager Materials is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having minor exceptions to the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 9, 2016 to Yeager Materials for the above unit rates. It should be noted this is roughly a 4.9% increase on average from last year, which is in agreement with prior years.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Bid number 10, 2016, electrical services. All bids that we received, which we received 5, met the standards and specifications detailed in the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 10, 2016 to all bid participants to be used based upon lowest rate and availability. It should be noted that Murphy's Electrical Service serviced most of our electrical needs last year. They have issued an increase of 11% from last year. Beltline Electric has been used for about 20% of the county's needs, and they are at a rate of less than 10% decrease from last year.
The most of them have the same material markups.
That is correct.
And what we do when we accept all of them, that means that if Murphy couldn't get there, we go to Beltline. If Beltline couldn't, we go to the next lowest and the next lowest until we got that service, correct?
That is correct.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Bid number 11, 2016 for plumbing and HVAC services. The fiscal court received 3 bids. Hayden Plumbing and Hagerman Plumbing and Heating Corporation are the lowest and best evaluated bids, having no exceptions to our bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 11, 2016 to both vendors to be used based upon lowest rate and availability in the same fashion as the last bid. It should be noted that Hagerman is down by $1 from their last year's bid.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When we have these bids that have a certain markup on materials, how do we verify their material cost?
It is reflected on the invoice.
Okay. So they just state what their material cost was, and then, is that what you're saying, or they, okay.
Yeah, it's all broken down.
If you ask for, like, their invoice, can you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any other question? That's a good question, though. Any other question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? There being, or I'm sorry, next item. I almost caught myself there, though.
Bid
Next
number
item.
12, 2016 for equipment rental. You will see on the next page all of the bids submitted. Most of these are the exact same rate that was submitted last year. There is no large degree of variance. All bids meet the standards and specifications detailed in the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 12, 2016 to all participants to be used based upon lowest rate and availability like the last two.
Question or comment by the commission? Looks like we had 3 respondents.
Yes.
Okay. Did they all bid the same equipment, or it's whatever equipment that was?
It's variable earth moving equipment and such.
Yeah. Okay. Question or comment by the public? Mr. Public just came in. Next item.
Bid 13, 2016 for crushed limestone. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 1 bid. The bid of Yeager Materials meets all specifications without exception. It is our recommendation to award bid number 13, 2016 to Yeager Materials for the above unit rates, and it should be noted that the picked up per ton rate increased 2.8% from last year, and the rate that is delivered to the landfill per ton increased 2% from last year. This is in agreement with prior years.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Bid 14, 2016 for culvert pipe. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 2 bids. Hagen and Stone Wholesale Incorporated is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having no exceptions to the bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 14, 2016 to Hagen and Stone Wholesale Incorporated for the attached unit rates. It should be noted that the ranges are 3 to 4% increases per measurement, and this is in agreement with prior years.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Bid 15, 2016 for janitorial services. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 7 bids. Epic Systems is the best evaluated bid, having no exceptions to our bid documentation. It is our recommendation to award Epic Systems all locations for bid number 15, 2016 at a total monthly rate of $9,726.83. Those locations include the Morton J. Holbrook Judicial Center, Daviess County Courthouse, Daviess County Operations Center, West Daviess County Landfill, and the Grimes Avenue Transfer Station offices.
Question or comment by the commission? Jordan, this is the same, these are the same folks that have taken over the courthouse?
Yes.
After we went through a couple of different ones.
That is correct.
And this takes all of those locations and totals them up and then makes the best evaluation, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Question or comment by the public? The next item.
Bid number 16, 2016 for county uniforms. This was referenced earlier in the administrative code changes. This bid facilitates the system that we're moving to by acting as an approved catalog for employees to purchase from. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 3 bids. Siegel's Uniforms was the most responsive bidder to the items requested, meeting all bid specifications without exception. It is our recommendation to award Siegel's Uniforms bid number 16, 2016 for the bid unit rates, and it should be noted that the county isn't out any more money regardless of the vendor that we choose. We'll spend the same amount no matter who is awarded. This evaluation was based on quality of product offered, value gained, and response in terms of serving all county departments.
Jordan, it looks like a couple of those didn't respond to a lot of the requests.
That is true. Aramark and UniFirst will not offer items to our correction officer departments, such as with the animal control, emergency response, such as with the fire departments, and several items that our industrial departments need, such as road and fleet maintenance. They do not offer some of
And
the
by
items.
combining all of those, we got a better rate.
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Next item.
Bid 17, 2016, tire repair and maintenance services. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 2 bids. Based on the past frequency and usage of each service or replacement, Purcell Tire is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having no exceptions to our documentation. It is our recommendation to award bid number 17, 2016 to Purcell Tire for the above unit rates, and it should be noted these rates constitute a savings of 20% from last year.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Jordan, when do you get down to the bid for paint? Well, there has to be one in there because this is about as exciting as watching paint dry. Go ahead.
Please, in your agenda, skip the next item, bid number 18. We'll be moving on to bid 19, 2016, sale of surplus item 90 horsepower Honda boat motor for fire rescue. Tyler Boats Incorporated has offered a trade of the listed items, which include a new John boat and hauling trailer. These items have a collective estimated value of approximately $2,795. Tyler Boats Incorporated is the best evaluated bid. We recommend awarding Tyler Boats Incorporated bid number 19, 2016 for the offered items to be used by the Daviess County Fire Department, and the fire chief is here. Should you have any questions of that use?
Question or comment by the commission?
So
Question.
basically, we're doing a swap.
Yes.
Okay.
Question or comment by the public? Chief, do you have any comment?
The only comment I have, Judge, is at the East Station, we have always had the need for a small boat for ponds, and this boat through that Tyler Boats is offering us will be excellent for that.
Okay, good. Next item.
Bid 20, 2016 for one new 2016-17 SUV for the engineering department. Daviess County Fiscal Court received 2 bids. Champion Ford is the lowest and best evaluated bid, having minor exceptions to the bid specifications. It is our recommendation to award Champion Ford bid number 20, 2016 in the amount of $39,048.25. It should be noted that Champion Ford's unit does not have the specified all-terrain tires. The expense to equip this unit properly is estimated to cost an additional $1,000. I recommend approval.
Yes, sir.
What kind of tires does it have on it?
Just standard. I think all
Like a
season.
car tire?
Yes.
A lot of people buy these just to look cool when they drive around town.
But I just wonder if he could look as cool with a car tire.
Well, he would look cool driving around town with a car tire, but when he drove through those muddy fields and in all the places that the parks director and everybody else sends him, I doubt. Yes, sir.
A question, so you're asking that we will add the $1,000 to that?
Yes.
And now, are we getting credit for the tires on it? It comes with tires.
It is possible
So
that the
this is
vendor that we
additional,
go.
or are we
Yes,
gonna
we,
take the tires that comes on it and use them out there at the road department, or, and there's gotta be a value somewhere?
Commissioner, there is a value, and I think what Mr. Johnson meant to say was that we would spend up to an additional $1,000, which says that we might get some credit back for those tires.
Well, we need the tires, I'm not denying, I just,
Yes, no.
I'm looking for some money.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Anything else that you want to say? Any other comment from the commission? Any comment by the public? Commissioners, you've heard the list on the awards of O, letter O. If there are no additional comments and or questions from either you guys or the public, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
P,
Next item.
advertise for the following bids.
I need a motion
Motion approved.
and a second.
Second.
I have a motion, second. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Judge, this is advertising for the following bids. Bid number 21, 2016, PVC pipe for the landfill. This is a rebid that we will address later in this agenda. Bid number 22, 2016, 4 new self-contained breathing apparatuses for fire rescue. Bid number 23, 2016, a newer used front-end loader for the road department. This is a replacement unit that is budgeted. Bid number 24, 2016, a new single-axle dump truck with contractor's bed for the road department. This is a replacement that is budgeted. Bid number 25, 2016, a new waste handling arrangement dozer for the landfill. This is a budgeted replacement. Bid number 26, 2016, a new fifth wheel road tractor for the transfer station, a budgeted replacement. Bid number 27, 2016, 2 new open-top walking floor trailers at the transfer station, which are budgeted replacements. There are no additional pieces of equipment being purchased, with exception to the self-contained breathing apparatuses.
Commissioners, this is just permission to advertise for those bids. Any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Q, accept the City of Owensboro's bid number 3060, sodium chloride.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, this doesn't, it sounds like the city of Owensboro is bidding to provide us with sodium chloride. I think we go together with the city and then we make a bulk purchase for both governments. Is that correct, Jordan?
That's correct.
Okay, you want to talk to us about it?
Yes, the bid rate this year was $67.54 per ton picked up. We also participated in the CAECO reverse auction just to see what other prices were available. That came in at $77.65 per ton. Our rate with the City of Owensboro bid is 13% less of that. It is a 65-cent or 1% increase from last year. I recommend approval.
Question or comment by the commission? Question or comment by the public? Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Clarification, there's a typo here. Bid number 22-2016 is actually 6 units, not 4.
Say this again.
The second one, 22-2016,
Okay.
the self-contained breathing apparatuses.
Yes.
It's 6 units, not
Okay.
4,
Okay.
just for the record.
Okay. Commissioner Castlin, you had a question about the
I did. What
sodium
what
chloride.
increased in Jordan? I didn't catch that. What increase did you say that
1%.
was?
From last year, it
Yes.
was roughly 1%. It was 65 cents per ton.
Okay,
Is that sufficient?
that's all.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
R, reject and rebid number 18, 2016, cell construction PVC pipe for the landfill.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Why are we rejecting and gonna rebid it?
We had very low participation. We only had one responsive bidder. Our consultant engineer prepared 3 bidders. Only one of them responded. We had no local involvement. I recommend that we reject this bid, bid it again, make sure that the local people are aware.
That was surprising to me when I looked at it that we didn't have any local bidders, and I know I'd called a couple of them and they said, no, they never gotten anything on it. So, I think we're gonna send it out to a lot of people, and then once they know about it, if they don't wanna bid it, that's fine. Any question or comment? Question or comment from the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
S, hire Christopher Hall as a Panther Creek Park attendant effective 6/12/2016.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Is Christopher a replacement for somebody there? So we're not increasing the number of attendants, we're replacing one that we have lost. Question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
T, hire Max Lanham as an engineering department intern effective 6/9/2016.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, Max worked as an intern last year. Max, if you're watching on TV, I almost couldn't get the votes to rehire you. Any question or comment? And I'm just kidding you. Actually, I'm kidding his grandmother because I don't want Betty to be after me. If there are no question or comment, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
3, consideration for appointment. Item A, Mike Edge to the Daviess County Economic Development Advisory Committee, term 6/19/2016 to 6/19/2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, Mike has served us on that advisory committee from the very beginning. He's done an excellent job. Asked very good questions if you've ever been in a meeting with him. I appreciate the service that he's given us, and I know he'll go do another good job going forward. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
B, Matt McLeod to the Owensboro-Davis County Convention and Visitors Bureau, term 6/30/2016 to 6/30/2019.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, Mr. McLeod has served a partial term, and now he's up for a full term. He's done an excellent job. He's a very nice young man. I appreciate him serving that partial term and look forward to all he can do for the Convention Visitors Bureau in this full term. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
C, Kyle Odd to the Owensboro-Davis County Convention and Visitors Bureau, term 6/30/2016 to 6/30/2019.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, Kyle is going to take the place of Commissioner Wathen, who served 2 terms and was term limited. Commissioner Wathen, let me be the first to say thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you did. You actually came to the Convention Visitors Bureau when they had some problems. They didn't have much revenue coming in and had to scrape and scrap to get by. You've done an excellent job, and the good news is that George has agreed to stay as the liaison between Fiscal Court and the CVB, so we appreciate that. Kyle Odd is a young man who works with Independence Bank. He expressed some interest in serving on that board, and I want to tell Kyle thank you, and I know he'll do a good job going forward. Any question or comment?
I'll just say it's a very good board, an active board, and they work hard, and I think he'll fit in well.
Okay, if there are no other questions or comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
D, Meanne Ferrison to the Dental Clinic Board, term 7/1/2016 to 7/1/2018.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, Meanne will take the place of Barry Carden, who served 4 terms on the dental clinic. I am very appreciative for what Barry did while there. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to visit with the dental clinic or see them in action. Owensboro and Davis County, we are one of the few communities that provide that service. It's a very necessary and needy service, and that dental clinic service actually keeps folks out of the emergency room at the hospital, because lots of times when they have issues with their mouth and pain, that's where they go. But they're able to go here, so they do an excellent job, and I'm proud to say that Davis County Fiscal Court also supports the dental clinic with some money. Meanne Ferrison expressed an interest in serving on the board. I don't know if you know Meanne. She is the advertising director, or doggone it, she promotes the local semi-pro basketball team. So she actually was excited to be appointed to the clinic. So any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
E, Hugh Biddle to the Southeast Davis County Water District Board, term 6/23/2016 to 6/1/2019.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. It's with sad heart that we have to replace Joe Elliott. Joe served, and you notice it says served numerous terms on that water board. That's because we don't know how many terms he served. He went back, I think, from the very beginning. The Southeast Davis County Water District was a passion that Joe had. Joe passed away recently, and Hugh Biddle Joe was a farmer, a representative from agriculture, and we felt that it was proper to replace an ag person with an ag person on that board, and Hugh Biddle has graciously agreed to serve, and I know Hugh will do a great job going forward. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
4, consideration for discussion. A, first reading of 6/2016. C, 8, 2016, an ordinance of the Daviess County Fiscal Court in the City of Owensboro amending the intra-county Owensboro-Daviess County Code of Ethics.
This is first reading. Claude, would you explain to us
I
what
will,
we're
Judge.
doing?
The city sent this to us mostly because they had a change in the names and the covered employees in their departments. There were a couple of others that were added, including the Justice of the Peace. There were a couple other editorial changes. And I think other than that, there was very little that we had. I've reviewed it. I think it includes our intent and would recommend approval of the changes.
Okay.
This is a first reading.
It is a
so it's
first,
just a
that's
recommendation and
correct.
review.
So, commissioners, any question or comment? Question or comment by the public? So it's first reading, second reading will be on the agenda at our first meeting in July. Next item.
B, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court.
This is a time during which we ask the public to come to the podium, identify themselves, and you are welcome to speak on any issue other than what was on the agenda tonight. Yes, sir. Come.
Judge and Commission, I'm from Burke City, Daviess County. Burke City's in Daviess County. But, and I may be out of order on this. I don't know where you asked for comments on the, about the blacktop, the repaving.
Yes, we've already talked about that, yes.
Well, can I?
I'll give you some leeway.
Can I address that a little bit?
Yeah, you can.
Well, the way I understand, we got over 500 miles of road, of pavement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well,
560, I think, is what
Okay.
I heard them.
well, it's been my concern for a long time is taking care of the blacktop and the top surface of that road has to do a lot with how you take care of the under surface of the road. And how well are we taking care, I'll put it in a question, how well are we taking care of our ditches? If you've got 560 miles of road, you've got 560 miles of ditches, ditch being on each side of the road to take care of the sub-base and also the water that runs off the road. And it's a question in my mind, do we do our best to maintain and take care of the ditches and the culverts that we have to have to maybe save us some money on repaving?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
My answer to you is an unequivocal yes, we are, and yes, we do. While we don't do it to the satisfaction of some folks in our community, I think we do an excellent job. As a matter of fact, I would say that we do more work on more miles of ditch every year than we do in paving. And I know that when we pave, we inspect those culverts and replace them prior to paving to make sure that we do not go back. And you've seen sometimes when people don't plan ahead, you might pave over a culvert that's 30 years old, and after a year you got to cut it out, and that leaves a bad spot in the ditch. But that being said, I'm going to defer to the engineer, but how many miles of ditch do we do every year?
This past fall, we made an extensive effort with our ditching machine, which is on the back of our tractor. We started in the west and we got all the way to right at Kentucky 144 in the east. That's the farthest we've ever done. Now, obviously, we're not able to use that machine in subdivisions and in people's yards that they mow. That's mostly in the rural sections of Daviess
and
County.
secondary roads.
We do the sections that are in subdivisions or in someone's mowed yard. We do those with different machines, which take us longer. We do those usually based on call-ins or as we see them. But every fall, we get that machine out as you get the daily reports, and we run it, and we ran it for about 5 months this year, and we got a long ways. And you're correct as far as changing out of pipes. You know our
Yes.
budget for pipes has grown significantly over the last several years because we're paving more roads, we're replacing a lot more pipes.
And to be quite candid, that's a change from the previous engineer to the new engineer. I think just pat him on the shoulders, and you don't know how much it pains me to say this about him, but he does a good job planning the work, so,
Yeah, I just wondered about, the cost, the extra cost, maybe of
yeah.
some roads we could maybe better take care of,
Mhm.
some of the ditches.
Right.
I know he does a good job. He did a good job on Metal Arc, did a very fine job in cleaning out culverts and all. But, this blacktop, you know, it's so expensive that we need to talk about,
I agree with you.
about the ditches also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioners, as much as it pains me, other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court is not public comment, but we had none, so we are in that public comment period. So anybody else from the public? Next item.
D, comments by the fiscal court, wet dry electric.
Commissioner Colger.
Comment, Judge.
Commissioner Wathen.
I can't pass this up. I have to mention that on all these bids that we had, which was 27 bids, or I don't know how many bids it was, there was only one apparatus once again, an apparatus is in the fire department. It's the only place you'll ever find an apparatus.
Would you change your apparatus name?
It's the only place you'll ever find an apparatus is in the fire department. Anyway, just had to mention that. I want to also mention ROMP. It's on us. We drove out today, and Judge Al Mattingly and I and Suzanne Miles, we took a grand tour of the place, and it's amazing how many people are there. They've got tents stuck under every tree, and it's just amazing. We saw people from Tennessee and Wisconsin, Louisville, Bowling Green,
Montana.
just and everybody's having fun. So
Massachusetts.
it's a great event, great for the community, and everybody should go enjoy it.
Okay. And I'm sure that you wanted to say thank you to the Bluegrass Museum for putting that thing on.
Yes, and thanks to the park department
Right.
for doing such a good job of preparing the park for the event.
It's really been a cooperative effort between a lot of people out here in the community, EMA, the sheriff's department for providing security. So it's, we hope that everybody has a romping good time. Commissioner Castlin.
I just wanted to take a second to congratulate Daviess County High School. I saw their headline. It says Daviess County High School academic team takes national title. And it's their first, excuse me, it says last year, the article says last year their JV team won the national championship, and this year their varsity team won the national championship, and I think that's kind of cool. So just wanted to congratulate them.
Okay, anything else?
Attended the groundbreaking. I think we were all there for the Bluegrass Museum. I think that's a cool thing coming up. And for those who want to go to ROMP, go enjoy it, as Commissioner Watson said.
It's still out there, will be going on through Saturday. So I want to tell you, it's a testimony to the efficiency when they get all those folks in there and get all those camping spots set up. Just a couple things. As everybody may be aware, we held a wet dry vote, or we didn't, but the city of Whitesville held a wet dry vote and it passed. Claude, how long, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, so it passed, and how long before it becomes effective? You pull your, there you go.
I think Mr. Smith said 60 days. I was thinking it was 90 days,
Right.
but it was.
60 days, okay. Let's see, what else did I have? I did have Jenny Warren, before she left, gave me a set of forms, and she said you have to make these announcements, and kind of in the same vein as Commissioner Caslen, there was an archery tournament, state archery tournament, 3D championship. And the girls' high school fixed pin, we had Bailey Jones from Daviess County High School finished second, and Meg Curtis finished 5th from Apollo. Mackenzie Millay finished 15th from Apollo, and Kennedy Swope finished 17th from Daviess County High School. Now you might think, well, that's all there is, but the girls' middle school in fixed pins had Kinsley Redmond from College View finished 3rd, and Harley Wilson from College View Middle School finished 7th, and Marissa Stanley from College View finished 16th. Well, that's not the end of it, folks. In boys' high school fixed pin, Kent Weddington from Apollo finished 1st. It's pretty cool. Lucas Gillespie finished 2nd from Daviess County High School. Cody Adkins finished 3rd from Daviess County High School. Jonathan Howe finished 6th from Daviess County High School. Nace Mattingly finished 12th from Daviess County. Drake Weathington finished 15th from Apollo. Wade Hall finished 16th from Daviess County. Lane Wilson, 17th from Daviess County. Myers Walker, 20th from Daviess County. Luke Wolbury, 21st. He tied for 21st from Daviess County. Cameron Carlton, 23rd from Apollo. Cameron Atkins, 25th, tied for 25th from Daviess County. Dalton Curtis, 27th from Apollo. And lest you think that's the end of it, in boys middle school, fixed pin, you had C.J. Jones from College View Middle School, finished 4th. Grayson Montgomery finished 13th from College View. Caden Huff finished 16th from College View. Brady Huckleberry finished 19th from College View. Blake Meserve finished 21st from College View. And lest you think that that's the end of it, you're absolutely right. It is. So I want to say congratulations to all those kids. I think it's great when you have sports that perhaps kids who can't throw or kick or catch a ball can still compete and understand the thrill of competition. And it's all about the thrill of competition. I know there are people who say it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game, and I thoroughly believe that. It's how the fact that you get out there and compete teaches you about life in general. If there's no other business to be brought before Daviess County Fiscal Court, without exception, we're adjourned.